bombard their whole operation. Certified priest, prophesying this my occupation. This shit outrageous, they done made the truth docile. That's why we on the corner crying aloud, looking hostile. This UPK style, can't stop now. Farthest warfare couldn't last one round. Let the oppressed rise, and let the rich mourn till the sundown. Enough with this shit, about to make it hot, call it compound. This for my niggas, put the guns in the drugs down. Dwelling in peace till the Lord call for the bloodhounds. Try to decide my death and got beside yourself. Swore drawn for what you perform. How you gon' hide yourself? Devil got to die for his lies and his dreams. Ain't got no love for them crackers. Nah, just cruel intentions. And then my father's house is spinning mansions. I got plenty bitch worthy of vengeance. This your death sentence. I'm talking about slaughter, yeah, slaughter, yeah, slaughter, yeah, slaughter, yeah, slaughter, yeah, slaughter, slaughter. That they do not rise. Go in and feel the world with lies. And die for your skin. You gon' die for your crime. That's right. Talking to you. So warn for your life. Your life. Try to destroy my people. You gotta pay the price, nigga. You gotta hear, let them hear. Till the devils that the end is near. Slaughter, yeah, slaughter, yeah. Now they shook for vicious words out this handed book. About to take these rappers back to school. My flow sanded hook. They crossed the line, ain't no coming back. You became no cowards. The only thing sweet is the honey jet. Righteous is the Lord. Give me rest from my sorrow. And hand down death for them devils. There's no tomorrow. Why? Cause they violence leave a man a stiff corpse. You see a flag in the bench, I see horns in a pitchfork. Go ahead. So please believe it. The white man is a demon. And I ain't gon' vote for them to free me. No. They beat us till we the color purple. That's why this knife till they broke like ceiling. You got this nigga on his knees. They wanna have peace. We screaming, let this bitch burn at 1,000 degrees. I'm laying in the bosom of revenge. I told her I'd do anything she please as I squeeze on the double D's. Fuck you mean? I'm talking to you. Slaughter, yeah, slaughter, yeah, slaughter, yeah, slaughter, yeah, slaughter, yeah, slaughter, slaughter. That they do not rise. Go in and feel the world with lies. And die for your skin. You gon' die for your crime. That's right. Talking to you. So warn for your life. Your life. Try to destroy my people. You gotta pay the price, nigga. You gotta hear, let them hear. Till the devils that the end is near. Slaughter, yeah, slaughter, yeah.
The police just shot him for no apparent reason. No reason at all. They asked for license and registration. That's the police officer over there that did it. With the black on. I can't really do shit because they got me handcuffed. I can't believe they just did this. I'm fucking back!
You gon' die for your crime. That's right. Talking to you. So warn for your life. Your life. Try to destroy my people. You gotta pay the price, nigga.
Testing.
You gotta hear, let them hear. Till the devils that the end is near. Slaughter, slaughter.
Wow. Let me know when to start. Test. Okay, the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew.
Abanawa,
Abanawa,
Shabbat Shemayim,
Shabbat Shemayim,
Kodash,
Kodash,
Haya,
Haya,
Shemka,
Shemka,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Malakwaka,
Malakwaka,
Taba'ah,
Taba'a,
Ratazayaka,
Ratazayaka,
Haya,
Haya,
Aisha,
Aisha,
Ba'arataza,
Ba'arataza,
Kawa,
Kawa,
Haya,
Haya,
Bashamayim,
Bashamayim,
Nathanawa,
Lathanawa,
Lakam,
Lakam,
Kal,
Kal,
Yawam,
Yawam,
Wasalak Nawa,
Wasalak Nawa,
Kabawathia Nawa,
Kabawathia Nawa,
Kasalak Nawa,
Kasalak Nawa,
Kabawathia Nawa,
Kabawathia Nawa,
Wala'a,
Wala'a,
Tabia Ayanawa,
Tabi'ai Nawa,
Banasaya 1,
Banasaya 1,
Abol,
a ball,
Hawashaya Nawa,
Habashai Nawa,
Mayan,
Mayan,
Rai,
Ra,
Kaya,
Kaya,
Laka,
Laka,
Hamalakwa,
Hamalakwa,
Waha'ala,
Waha'ala,
Wahathapara,
Wathapara,
Iwalumium,
Laiwalonium,
Aman.
Aman. In the English, our Father,
Our Father,
which art in heaven,
which art in heaven,
hallowed be thy name.
hallowed be thy name.
Thy kingdom come,
Thy kingdom come,
thy will be done
thy will be done
in earth
in earth
as it is in heaven.
as it is in heaven.
Give us this day
Give us this day
our daily bread,
our daily bread,
and forgive us our debts
and forgive us our debts
as we forgive our debtors.
as we forgive our debtors.
And lead us not
And lead us not
into temptation,
temptation,
but deliver us
but deliver us
from evil.
from evil.
From thine is the kingdom,
For thine is the kingdom,
and the power, and the glory, forever.
forever.
So be it.
So be it. The prayer for the power and for the Hakak in the Hebrew. Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Ba'ashem Hawashai,
Ba'ashim Yahushua,
Baba Kashah,
Baba Kashah,
the Thunder Nawa,
the Thunder Nawa,
Hakak,
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 La Para'ah,
La Pa'a,
Kal Makala,
Kal Makala,
Wakal Madawa,
Wakal Marawa,
Hakak,
Hakak,
La Tahar,
La Tahar,
Har Matazarayim,
Hamatazarayim,
Hakak,
Hakak,
La Hakwim,
La Hakwim,
Hamathim,
Hamathim,
Hakak,
Hakak,
Al Rarakawaf,
Arakarawaf,
Hatama Allah,
Hatama Allah,
Lagarishun,
Lagarashun,
Ba'ashimi Hawashai,
Ba'ashim Yahushua,
Wada Aman,
Duad Aman. In the English, Yahweh.
Yahweh,
In the name of Yahushua,
in the name of Yahweh,
please give us the power to heal all manner of sickness and all manner of disease, the power to cleanse the leper, the power to raise the dead, the power against unclean spirits, to cast them out. In the name of Yahushua, thank you. So be it.
So be it. This is the prayer for the blessings in the Hebrew. Barakatha Yahweh,
Barakatah Yahweh.
Wa Yahweh Shai,
Wa
Wa
Yahushua.
Mayaka Allah,
Wa Mayaka Allah.
Wa Alahayim,
Wa Alahayim.
Matazabaya,
Matazab Yah.
Alawap Yahana,
Alawap Yahana.
Ha Alawapium,
Ha Alawapium.
Ha Saranyum,
Ha Saranyum.
Ha Katazayanyum,
Ha Kwatazayayim.
Ha Koyayoyum,
Ha Koyayoyum.
Wa Ha Aquatium,
Wa Ha Akwatian.
Yahweh,
Yahweh.
Ba'ashemi Hawashai,
Ba'ashim Yahushua.
Wada Aman.
Duad Aman. In the English, bless you, Yahweh,
Bless you, Yahweh,
and Yahushua,
and Yahweh,
and Michael, and the angels, commanding General Yahana, the generals, the captains, the officers, the troopers, and the sisters. Yahweh, in the name of Yahushua, thank you. So be it.
The 121st Psalm in the Hebrew.
Mhm.
Aisha'ah,
Aisha,
Ayanya,
Ayanya,
Al-Haharium,
Al Haharium,
Ma'ayan,
Ma'ayan,
Yaba'ah,
Yaba'a,
Izaria,
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 Ma'aim,
Ma'aim,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Aisha,
Aisha,
Shamayam,
Shamayam,
Wa'arataza,
Wa Arataza,
Al-Yathun,
Al Yathun,
Lamawat,
Lamawat,
Regolka,
Wagolka,
Al-Yanawam,
Al Yanawam,
Shamarka,
Shamorka,
Hanala'ah,
Hanala'a,
Yanawum,
Yanawam,
Wala'ah,
Wala'a,
Yayashun,
Yayashun,
Shawamar,
Shawamor,
Yasha'ala,
Yasha'ala,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Shamarka,
Shamorka,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Tazolka,
Tazolka,
Al-Yad,
Al Yad,
Yamyaka,
Yamyaka,
Yawamam,
Yawamam,
Hashamash,
Hashamash,
La'ah,
La'a,
Yakaka,
Yakaka,
Wayarak,
Wayarak,
Balayala,
Balayala,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Yashamarka,
Yashamarka,
Makalrai,
Makalrai,
Yashamar,
Yashamar,
Athnapashka,
Athnapashka,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Yashamar,
Yashamar,
Taza'atka,
Taza'aka,
Wabawa'atka,
Wabawa'aka,
Ma'ayatha,
Mayatha,
Wa'aid Iwalam.
Wa'aid Awalam. In English, I will lift up mine eyes into the hills,
I will lift up mine eyes into the hills,
from which cometh my help.
from which cometh my help.
My help cometh from the Lord,
My help cometh from the Lord,
which made heaven and earth.
which made heaven and earth.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He that keepeth thee will not slumber.
He that keepeth thee will not slumber.
Behold,
Behold,
he that keepeth Israel
he that keepeth Israel
shall neither slumber nor sleep.
shall neither slumber nor sleep.
The Lord is thy keeper. The Lord is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day,
day,
nor the moon by night.
nor the moon by night.
The Lord shall preserve thee
The Lord shall preserve thee
from all evil.
from all evil.
He shall preserve thy soul.
He shall preserve thy soul.
The Lord shall preserve thy going out
The Lord shall preserve thy going out
and thy coming in,
and thy coming
from
in.
this time forth
And this time forward,
and even forevermore.
even forevermore. The 83rd Psalm in the Hebrew. Alahayim.
Alahayim,
Al Damayalaka.
Al Damiyalaka,
Al Fakarash.
Al Takarash,
Wa Al Fashakwat.
Wa Al Tashakwat,
Al
Al
Kayahana.
Kayahana,
Awabiaka.
Awabyaka,
Yahama.
Yahama,
Yawan.
Yawan,
Ra'ash.
Ra'ash,
Al Imaka.
Al Imaka,
Yaira Yamwa.
Yaira Yamwa,
Sawada.
Sawada,
Wayatha.
Wayatha,
Yaitazawa.
Yaitazawa,
Al Tazapawanyaka.
Al Tazapawanyaka,
Amarwa.
Amarwa,
Lakawa.
Lakawa,
Wanakakidam.
Wanakakidam,
Magoya.
Magoya,
Wala'a.
Wala'a,
Yazakar.
Yazakar,
Sham Yasha'ala.
Sham Yashala,
Iwada.
Iwada,
Kaya.
Kaya,
Nawa Aitazawa.
Nawa Aitazawa,
Laba.
Laba,
Yakadwa.
Yakadwa,
Alyaka.
Awyaka,
Bariyath.
Barayath,
Yakarathwa.
Yakarathwa,
Aholia.
Aholia,
Adawam.
Adawam,
Wa Yashamai.
Wayashamai,
Alayam.
Alayam,
Mawa Abba.
Mawa Abba,
Wahagarium.
Wahagarium,
Gabal.
Gabal,
Wa I'm a one.
Wayamawan,
Wa I'm a lot.
Wayamalat,
Palashaf.
Palashath,
I'm Yashabia.
I am Yashabia,
Tazawar.
Tazawar,
Gam Ashawar.
Gam Ashawar,
Nalawa.
Nalawa,
Imam.
Imam,
Hayawa.
Hayawa,
Zarawai.
Zarawai,
Labanya Lawat.
Labanya Lawat,
Salah.
Salah,
Aishalaham.
Ashalaam,
Kamadyan.
Kamadian,
Kasaya.
Kasaya,
Sara'ah.
Sara'ah,
Hayawa. No, Salakia. Kayabian.
Kayabian,
Banakol.
Banakol,
Kayashwan.
Kwayashwan,
Nashamadwa.
Nashamadwa,
Bayan.
Bayan,
Da'ara.
Daira,
Hayawa.
Hayawa,
Daman.
Daman,
La'adama.
La'adama,
Shayathumwa.
Sayathamwa,
Nada.
Nada-
Yamawa.
Nada Yabmawa,
Kai Arab.
Ka'arab,
Wakazaba.
Wakazaba,
Wakazabak.
Wakazabak,
Wakatazol.
Wakatazol,
Mana'ai.
Mana'ai,
Kal Nasaya Kamwa.
Kal Nasaya Kamwa,
Ashar.
Ashar,
Amarwa.
Amarwa,
Nayarasha.
Nayarisha,
Lanawa.
Lanawa,
Ah.
Ah,
Na'awaf.
Na'awaf,
Alahayim.
Alahayim,
Alahaya.
Alahaya,
Shayathumwa.
Sayathamwa,
Kagogala.
Kagogala,
Kakwash.
Kakwash,
Lapanya Rawaka.
Lapanyarabaka,
Ka'ash.
Ka'ash,
Tabia Ira Ya'ira.
Taba Yaira,
Wakalaba.
Wakalahaba,
Talahat.
Salahat,
Harayam.
Harayam,
Khan.
Khan,
Taradapma.
Tharadapma,
Basa Iraka.
Basa Iraka,
Wabasa.
Wabasa,
Wapafka.
Wapatka,
Tabahalam.
Tabahalam,
Mala'a.
Mala'a,
Payaham.
Panyam,
Kwalawan.
Kwalawan,
Wayabakwashwa.
Wayabakwashwa,
Shimka.
Shimka,
Yahawa.
Yahawa,
Yabashwa.
Yabashwa,
Panyaham.
Salaki,
Salaki. Wayabaholwa.
Wayabaholwa,
Aija'ai.
Adyai,
Wayakaparwa.
Wayakaparawa,
Wayabadwa.
Wayabadwa,
Wayadayawa.
Wayadayawa,
Kaya Atha.
Kayatha,
Shimka.
Shimka,
Yahawa.
Yahawa,
Labadka.
Labadka,
Al Yawan.
Al Yawan,
Al Kal Harataza.
Al Kaharataza. In the English, keep not thy silence. O Yahweh, hold not thy peace, and be not still.
Still.
O Yahweh,
Oh Yahweh.
for lo,
For lo.
thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up their head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consorted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come, and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more remembrance. For they have consorted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. The tabernacles of Edom, and the Ishmaelites of Moab, and the Hagarenes, Gabal, and Ammon, and Amalek, the Philistines, with the inhabitants of Tyre. Assur also is joined with them. They have hope in the children of Lot. Salah, do unto them as unto the Midianites, as to Sisera, as to Jabin, at the brook of Kisan, which perished at Endor. They became as dung for the earth. Make their nobles like Oreb and like Zeeb, yea, all their princes, as Abba and as Almuna, who said, let us take to ourselves the houses of Yahweh in possession. Oh, my power. Make them like a wheel. As the stumble before the wind. As the fire burneth they wood. And as the flame set the mountains on fire. So persecute them with thy tempest and make them afraid with thy storm. Fill their faces with shame, that they may seek thy name. O Yahweh, let them be confounded and troubled forever. Yea, let them be put to shame and perish, that men may know that thou, whose name alone is Yahweh, art the most high over all the earth. All right, Yashab, need to be seated. Well, Salakia, we could just stay standing, right? If I could call the next priest, if you could, Baba Kachab, present yourself.
Number one, Banya Howard, Banya Sha'ala. Number one, Banya Howard, Banya Sha'ala. How about Shimei Al-Shabbat Batum? How about Shimei Al-Shabbat Batum? Oh, I see you all Shabbat Batum.
Check 1 2. All right, most in Christ. All right, so we're gonna pick right back up where we left off last week, right? We had Numbers chapter 32 and verse 25. Right. So for those who are at home and want to tune in and read along, if you could just go to Blue Letter Bible. You know what I'm saying? Go to blueletterbible.org on your phone. All right. Let's go to Blue Letter Bible on your phone.org. Go to Numbers, right, chapter 25 to like at 32. Numbers chapter 32 and verse 25, right? And if you could just press, press that tools button on the side, and it'll pull up the Assyrian Hebrew, which is what we'll be reading in, right? And you can follow along as the brother reads, right? So whenever you're ready, so Numbers chapter 32 and verse 25.
This is the book of Numbers, chapter 32 and verse 25 in the Hebrew. Waya Amar, Banya Gad, Wabanya Ra'alban, Al Mashah, La Amar, Ibadjika, Ya Aishawa, Ka'ashar, Adunya, Matazawa. Verse 26. Tapnawa, Sakya, Tapunwa, Nashayanawa, Makwan Wakal, Bahamathnawa, Yahayawa, Shum, Ba'iraya, Hagalaid. Verse 27. Wa Ibadjaka, Ya Ibarwa, Kal, Sakya, Kalawataza, Tazaba'a, La Panya Yahweh, La Malakama, Ka'ashar, Adunya, Debar. Verse 28. Wayatazawa Lahum, Masha Ath, Alayaizar, Hakahan, Wa'ath, Yahawashai, Bun, Nawan, Na'ath, Ra'ashia, Abawath, Hamatawath, Labunya, Yasha Allah. Verse 29. Waya Amar Masha Alahum, Ya Ibarwa, Banya Gad, Wabunya Ra'alban, Athakum, Ath, Hayaradun, Kal, Kalawataza, La Malakama, Lapunya Yahweh, Wana, you know, put it on silent. Cal Kalawataza, Lama Lakama, Lapunya Yahweh, Wanakabasha, Ha'arataza, Lapunyakum, Wanath, Wanathum, Lahum, Ath Arataza, Hagalaid, La Kaza, verse 30. La'a, Ya Ibarwa, Kalawatazayim, Athakum, Wana Akazar, Bathakum, Ba'arataza, Kana'ain. Verse 31. Count the water. Waya Ainawa, Bunya Gad, Wabunya Ra'alban, La Amar, Ath, Ashar, Debar Yahweh, Al, Ibadyaka, Khan, Na Aisha. That's the end of verse 31 in the Hebrew. You can go back up to verse 25 in the English. The book of Numbers, chapter 32 and verse 25. And the children of Gad and the children of Reuben spake unto Moses, saying, Thy servants will do as my Lord commandeth. Verse 26, our little ones, our wives, our flocks, and all our cattle shall be there in the cities of Gilead. Verse 27, but thy servants will pass over, every man armed for war, before the Lord to battle, as my Lord saith. Verse 28, so concerning them, Moses commanded Eleazar the priest, and Joshua the son of Nun, and the chief fathers of the tribes of the children of Israel. Verse 29, and Moses said unto them, if the children of Gad and the children of Reuben will pass with you over Jordan, every man armed to battle before the Lord, and the land shall be subdued before you, then ye shall give them the land of Gilead for a possession. Verse 30, but if they will not pass over with you armed, they shall have possessions among you in the land of Canaan. Verse 31, and the children of Gad and the children of Reuben answered, saying, as the Lord hath said unto thy servants, so will we do. Salakia. The book of Numbers, chapter 32 and verse 32 in the Hebrew. Naknawa, Naibar, Kalawatazayim, Lapunya Yahweh, Arataza, Kana'ain, La'athnawa, Akazath, Nakalathnawa, Ma'ibar, La Yaradun. Verse 33. Wayathun, Lahum, Mashah, Labunya Gad, Walabunya Ra'alban, Walakatazaya, Shabbat, Manashah, Bun Yawasap, Ath, Mama Lakath, Sayakun, Malak, Ha'amaria, Wa'ath, Mama Lakath, Iwaga, Malak, Habashun, Ha'arataza, La Ariyah, Ba Gabalath, Iriyah, Ha'arataza, Sa Bayab. Verse 34. Why your bunwa, bunya gad, ath, dayabun, wa'ath, itarath, wa'ath, ira. Verse 35. Wa'ath, itarath, shawapun, wa'ath, ya'izar, waya gabaha. Verse 36. Wa'ath, bayath, namara, wa'ath, bayath, harun, iriyah, mabatazar, wa gadarath, taza'un. Verse 37. Wa bunya ra'alban banwa ath kashabwan wa ath ala ila ala ila'a wa ath Quariathium. Verse 38. Wa ath nabawa wa ath ba'il ba'ila. Yeah, I started at 32. So 38 is the last count. Wa'ath, Banawa, Wa'ath, Ba'ila, Ba'iwan, Mawasabath, Shum, Wa'ath, Shabama, Wayakwara Awa, Bashamath, Ath, Shamawath, Ha'irium, Ashar, Banwa. That's the end of verse 38 in the Hebrew. We go back to verse 32 in the English. The book of Numbers, chapter 32 and verse 32. We will pass over armed before the Lord into the land of Canaan, that the possession of our inheritance on this side Jordan may be ours. Verse 33. And Moses gave unto them, even to the children of Gad, and to the children of Reuben, and unto half the tribe of Manasseh, the son of Joseph, the kingdom of Sihon, king of the Amorites, and the kingdom of Og, king of Bashan, the land with the cities thereof in the coasts, even the cities of the country round about. Verse 34. And the children of Gad built Dibon, and Ataroth, and Aroer. Verse 35. And Atroth, Shaphan, and Jazer, and Jogbaha. Verse 36. And Beth Nimrah, and Beth Horon, fenced cities, and folds for sheep. Verse 37. And the children of Reuben built Heshbon, and Elialah, and Kirjathim. Verse 38. And Nebo, and Baalmeon, their names being changed, and Shibma, and gave other names unto the cities which they builded.
Shalaki, so from 20, we started at 21, 25, correct? Can you put this in a historical context for me as what's going on as far as us taking over certain lands and who's related to who, like the genealogy, just a little bit so I can understand. I've never been in the church, as you guys know, and the Bible's new to me.
No, you too. When you say who's related to who, like you say, like when you hear these names,
Yeah,
like
I want to know who.
Gad and Reuben.
Yeah, so they're all speaking of Gad and Reuben. None of they're not speaking of Judah, Benjamin, and nobody else, right?
Well, it's dealing with them, like specifically right now. You know what I'm saying? Like Judah. You know what I'm saying? Like all the other tribes, they are there.
Okay,
right?
so
But right now it's just dealing with specifically these two tribes right now.
Salakia, so the land of Gilead, what is that?
Each tribe was given a land or an inheritance, but they had to take it. So here they're explaining to these two tribes, this is the land that I'm giving for y'all, but you got to go in there and get it.
From who? From the Canaanites?
From the Canaanites, which are Hamites.
And the Hamites are what? Africans. The water.
If you were here last week, you would see what happened was with these two particular tribes, Reuben and Gad. Basically, there was another land set for them, but they saw a land that they liked. You know what I'm saying? Because they dealt with sheep and cattle, and so they saw this land, and this land was good for sheep. It was real good for that. And Moses was like, wait a minute, but that's not the land that you're supposed to get. But they're like, we really like this. He's like, so, because they were supposed to go to war. So he's like, so wait a minute, y'all gonna take this land while the rest of us go over here and all your brothers go to war and y'all gonna be chilling over here with sheep? And he made an agreement with them, but they're like, no, we're not gonna do that. We're gonna go to war too. But when it's all said and done, we want to come back over here and claim this for our land. And Moses was telling them, okay, if y'all come to war and y'all fight, then no sweat. Most High in Christ. But if y'all stay over here and try to stay out the battle, y'all gonna have to get dealt with. Salaki.
Salaki. So Moses is the commanding general for this battle or not?
I wouldn't say for the battle. He's in charge of Israel at the time.
Okay.
Like
So
you know, when the Lord deals with Israel as a nation of people, He always puts one man in charge.
yeah, like King David and King Solomon.
Mhm.
So Moses was another person who was a king of Israel.
It wouldn't be Israel at this point, right?
Mhm.
Because you know we get Israel from who? From our forefather Jacob, right?
Yeah. Mhm.
So it wouldn't be called Israelites at this point in the scriptures.
Oh, this is before.
This is way before.
Okay.
So like it. This good. No, I'm tripping, right? Yeah, he wouldn't. Yeah, that's what threw me out, right? He wouldn't be king. Put it that way, right? Like we still taking ground, right? We still conquering the earth at this point, right?
So this is in the beginning.
This is after we coming out of Egypt. We getting ourselves back together. We done been in the wilderness.
Mhm.
You understand? Our generations have, of course, increased.
So like all 12 or just Reuben and Gad?
All of us.
Okay.
All of us. But like the brother said, specifically to dealing with these, these two tribes, right?
Right. All right.
Yeah, so like a door. Yeah, come on.
So
Go
tribe
on.
had their own leaders. So like whatever tribe went into war, somebody from that tribe would lead the army.
So like who was the leader of my tribe? Banyamin.
Well, you have to get to specific incidents in order for us to determine.
Gotcha.
That.
Today we're
Okay.
dealing with Reuben and Gad.
Right.
All right, so like,
For the most
all
part.
right, the one.
Okay.
Yeah, for the most part, that's gonna switch up. Yeah, come. We come.
Okay. This is the book of Numbers, chapter 32, and verse 39 in the Hebrew. Wayalakwa, Banya, Makayar, Ban, Manashah, Gala Ida, Wayalak, Slaki, Wala, Slaki, Waya Lakada, Waya Warash, Ath, Ha Amaria, Ashar, Baha. Verse 40. Wayathun, Masha, Ath, Hagala Aid, Lamakayar, Bun, Manashah, Wayashab, Baha. Verse 41. Waya Ayar, Ban, Manashah, Halak, Wayalakad, Ath, Hawathyahm, Wayakwara Ah, Athahun, Hawath, Ya Ayar. Verse 42. Wanabak, Halak, Wayalakad, Ath, Quanath, Wa'ath, Banath, Banathaya, Wayakwara Ah, La, Nabak, Bashamwa. That's the end of verse 42. We're going to go to the next chapter. Okay. This is the book of Numbers, chapter 33, and verse 1 in the Hebrew. Allah, Masa'aya, Banya Yasha Allah, Ashar, Yataza Awa, Ma'arataza, Matazarium, Lataza Ba'atham, Bayad, Masha, Wa Aharon. Verse 2. Wayakathab, Masha, Ath, Mawataza, Slakia, Mawataza Ayahum, Lamasa Ayahum, Al, Paya, Yahweh, Wa Allah, Masa Ayahum, Lama Wataza Ayam, Slakia, Lama Wataza Ayahum. Verse 3. Wayasa Iwa, Mara I Masasa, Bakadash, Hara Ashwan, Bakamasha, Ishar, Yawam, La Kadash, Hara Ashwan, Mama Karath, Slakiha Pasak, Yataza Awa, Bunya Yasha Allah, Bayad, Ramah, La Ayunya, Kal, Matazarium. It's the end of verse 3, chapter 33. We're going to jump back, Slakia, to chapter 32. No, you talk. The book of Numbers, chapter 32, and verse 39 in the English. And the children of Machir, the son of Manasseh, went to Gilead and took it and dispossessed the Amorite which was in it. And Moses gave Gilead unto Machir, the son of Manasseh, and he dwelt therein. Verse 41.
Here, Yeah, they just like you heard the brother just read. No, you could just read it one more time for him.
And the children of Machir, the son of Manasseh, went to Gilead and took it and dispossessed the Amorite which was in it.
Right.
Salakia. Isn't Manasseh not a tribe isn't that the Cubanos?
What you mean?
Because it's speaking about Ganesh, say Manasseh. So it's really dealing with 3 different tribes taking over lands for this Sabbath service. So we got the Gad, we have the Gad, we have the Reuben, and you also have Manasseh, right? All taking over lands.
Yeah, so far, Khan.
Okay.
Yeah, so right. So
I'm trying to keep track of the people in the lands.
Right, Khan.
So you know where my mind is at.
Yeah.
Which lands and which peoples, and that's pretty much
Right.
yeah.
So like the brother said, so each tribe is taking over different lands. So we dealt with Reuben and Gad, right?
Reuben,
Like he said, it keeps switching. So now Manasseh is being told what land they're supposed to take.
Salakia, for clarification, Reuben and Gad took Canaan, or they took Gilead?
They took a piece of Gilead.
They took a piece of Gilead. Where's that at in today's day? Where's that at?
I'm not sure now.
Okay.
So
we would have to, we would have to take that up. Of course, the generals, they know all the.
Okay, no sweat, no
You know what
sweat.
I mean?
Yeah, for sure, no sweat.
No, it's all good.
And then so now we got Manasseh's taking some land now, the Cubans, the water.
Talking about right now. So these lands that they're talking about now are basically like on the Mediterranean, near the Mediterranean coast, in that area. You understand? That's where Gilead and all of that is at. You understand?
And one last question, Salakia. Manasseh, when they take the land from all these different people, they're taking it from the Egyptians.
The Canaanites are Africans, different, they're different cities, so they have different names, but they're all Hamites, or what we call today Africans. But they have like branched off into families and groups and tribes as well.
And all Africans descend from Ham.
Khan or Khan.
I already knew that. All right, the water.
Verse 40. And Moses gave Gilead unto Machir the son of Manasseh, and he dwelt therein. Verse 41. And Jair the son of Manasseh went and took the small towns thereof, and called them Havoth Jair. Verse 42. And Noba went and took Kenath and the villages thereof, and called it Noba, after his own name. The book of Numbers, chapter 33, and verse 1. These are the journeys of the children of Israel, which went forth out of the land of Egypt, with their armies, under the hand of Moses and Aaron. Verse 2. And Moses wrote their goings out according to their journeys by the commandment of the Lord. And these are their journeys according to their goings out. And they departed from Ramses in the first month, on the 15th day of the first month. On the morrow after the Passover, the children of Israel went out with an high hand in the sight of all the Egyptians. It's the end of verse 3 in the English. The book of Numbers, chapter 33 and verse 4 in the Hebrew. Wamatazarium, Makwabarium, Ath, Ashar, Hakah, Yahweh, Baham, Cal, Bakawar, Waba Alahaya, Sakia, Waba Alahayahum, Aisha, Yahweh, Shapatyam. Verse 5, Salakia. Wayasa Aiwa, Bunya, Yasha Allah, Mara Imasasa, Wayaknawa, Sakia, Wayakunwa, Basakath. Verse 6. Wayasa Aiwa, Masakath, Wayakunwa, Ba'athum, Ashar, Bakwatazah, Hamadabar. Verse 7. Wayasa Aiwa, Ma'athum, Wayashab, Al Paya, Kakayarath, Ashar, Al Panya, Ba'ila, Tazapawan, Waya It's like I want to see what that word is. Salakia, bear with me. God, it's Kana, right? So it's Wayakunwa, Lapunya, Magadol. Verse 8. Wayasaiwa, Mapunya, Hakariath, Waya Ibarwa, Bathawak, it's like here, Bathwaka, Hayam, Hamadabara, Wayalakwa, the Rock, Shalashath, Yamayum, Bamadabar, Athum, Wayakunwa, Bamara. Verse 9. Wayasaiwa, Mamara, Wayabaawa, Ayalama, Wa Ba Ayalam, Shathayum, Aishara, Ayanath, Mayum, Wamashaba Slakia, Wa Shabayum, Thamarium, Wayakunwa, Shum. I started at 4, right? I think so, yeah. No, one more. Verse 10. Verse 10. Waisa Iwa, Ma'ayalum, Wayakunwa, Al, Yum, Sawap. That's the end of verse 10 in the Hebrew. We're going to jump back up to verse 4, Numbers 33 and 4 in the English. Book of Numbers chapter 33 and verse 4. For the Egyptians buried all their firstborn, which the Lord had smitten among them. Upon their gods also the Lord executed judgments. Verse 5. And the children of Israel removed from Ramesses and pitched in Succoth. Verse 6. And they departed from Succoth and pitched in Etham, which is in the edge of the wilderness. Verse 7. And they removed from Etham and turned again unto Pahaharath, which is before Baal-Zephon, and they pitched before Migdol. Verse 8. And they departed from before Pahaharath and passed through the midst of the sea into the wilderness, and went 3 days' journey in the wilderness of Etham, and pitched in Marah. Verse 9. And they removed from Marah and came unto Elam, and in Elam were 12 fountains of water, and 70 palm trees, and they pitched there. Verse 10. And they removed from Elam and encamped by the Red Sea. If I may, you kind of, like the brother was saying, this kind of is giving you a general locale. Now you can find more detailed maps and things like that, which are not always 100% accurate, but can give you an idea of the area as they traveled outside of Egypt. You understand? So, yeah, please.
Go ahead. So like I'm just more of a what you call like a visual learner. So I'm trying to lock in, tribes and lock in areas so I can visualize and imagine that going on and what areas they take in and what commandments are, what's happening. You know what I mean? Because I'm hearing it, but I'm only comprehending about 60%. Yeah.
If I may, that's no sweat, bro. It just take time, bro. But what happened is as you talk about these places, like the brother said, that Mediterranean Sea, that area there, you know what I'm saying? And now right now we're talking about the Red Sea. So if you look at a map, some of these names, they're not going to be the same now on a modern map. Right. That's what I'm saying. You can look up, you know what I'm saying, look up modern maps, and then you can look up, there are maps that will have some of these names on them, and you can see the corresponding lands. You understand what I'm saying? So while it may say Iraq or something right now, you can see what that land used to be called, and then traverse on a map and say, oh, okay, so they went through here. That's how they ended up here, gotcha. And traverse through here, how they ended up here. But it just takes time, and you just got to keep looking at the maps, because a lot of the maps, like I said, are not always 100% accurate. Like even when they try to show you what Israel looked like, our land was bigger than that. You know what I'm saying? They're not accurately showing you what Israel is. If you look on a map today, that plot of land they call Israel, it's part of it, but that's not fully Israel.
So like what percentage would you say of that is like a little piece of pie?
I would say less than half.
Okay, that's less than half.
Yeah.
And then just one more thing before you continue, please, sir. Can you let me know give me a time date, so I have a chronological, you know what I mean? What is that? What BC is that?
As far as like specific dates,
Nah, not specific dates, just a general. You know what I'm saying?
that you would have to. I mean, you would have to take that up.
With the
As far as like you want to know like whether we in like the, 102 what BC something like
No,
that.
I just that's just how my mind track it. You know
Nah,
what I
you
mean?
gotta you don't want to necessarily focus on that, right? You want to more so focus on just the history and what's going on. As far as like the chronological dates, you gotta remember as Israelites, we don't deal with numbers and like how Esau deal with numbers and dates and
Mm.
like we don't deal with it like that.
No, I'm just trying to get
We
it.
just know that this, of course, these records in this Bible, it's our history. So at some point in time, this is what happened, right? Now
Right.
you can correlate the time with who was in charge. So Moses is in charge now.
Yeah.
So you can generalize it with okay, so we coming out of Egypt. You know what I mean? So it was around
Yes.
this time.
Yeah, so like the generals know the dates though for sure.
That I'm not sure. I can't even tell you that. I don't know how that works. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, kind of.
Also, like the brother just said something so heavy.
Mhm.
Like how we do things in this Bible, as you read this Bible, it's not how the devil works. You see the devil's history books, he got, okay, so on this day, so and so said this. And on this day, so and so said this. Even how our calendars work, if I may, is not how the devil's calendar works. So when we say we don't got a Wednesday and a Thursday, we got the first day, second day, third day, and then we just cycle it. We don't do dates like the brother said in that way. So you won't even find in the scriptures and Moses in the 800 BC, it won't
No,
say that.
yeah,
It'll
it's
just
like-
say it'll put it like this. It'll be contextualized,
Yes.
like, oh, a year after we left Egypt,
Yeah.
this brother did this, but it'll never tell you exactly what year we left Egypt.
Right,
You know what I
Shalaki. The reason I ask is
Mhm.
because in every other history that you learn, whether it's African history, I've studied all different type of histories. There's always a chronological date, and that gives you a point of reference, sir. So that point of reference lets me be able to contextualize what's going on at that time as opposed to what happened before and after. If you don't know, I don't have a point of reference, then I'm not going to know. Even if you said 20 BC, like right now you're telling me things like even if like say we don't use times. If you were to just say okay after our captivity in Egypt or before our captivity, give me a point of reference is all I ask if I can out of one.
No, you good. Yes, what I'm telling you. Like you can be like, well, Moses was in charge then. So Moses was in charge during what time, right? When we were in Egypt
Okay,
and coming out of Egypt.
So then there we go.
That your point of reference would be the events taking place. You know what I mean? Like more so the events, not necessarily the dates. You know what I mean? It's long question.
Yeah, but how does one who has no knowledge of it?
The best way to do it, you keep coming to class. You keep coming to class because what'll happen is, you're gonna overfill yourself at one time when you're trying to learn everything at once.
No, I won't. I won't,
You know
sir.
what I mean?
So like I won't.
Like that's not how that ain't how it works. No, that's biblical. Like I'm saying, you gotta continue to go to class, continue to take notes. That's like trying to go to college and think you just gonna graduate one day. You gotta take time, gotta take your notes, come to more classes.
No,
ask
I'm
more
saying I don't.
questions.
So like I'm saying that I won't be able to understand or put it into context if I don't know like at least the who, what, when, where, and why. You know what I'm
But
saying?
now you know though. You know that what? You know that
Moses is in
right?
charge.
We coming out of Egypt.
Right,
Coming out of Egypt.
We taking over the earth,
right.
and tribes are being put into the place where they were ruled.
That's right.
Okay,
That's
so
what
right,
that's the generalized
Well,
right there.
once
That's all you need to know.
and then all of it, we're taking all this land
Yeah.
from Egyptians, from
No,
Hamites,
we taking them from everybody.
Right.
It's not just Egyptians. Everybody.
from.
If,
So
you,
it's
if you remember, we read about they just ran from the Amorites.
and
You
see,
know
I
what I
don't even know what an Amorite is.
He's another Hamite tribe.
Yeah.
Okay, so basically from Africans, we just take most of the land from the
but
Africans.
that's what I'm saying. But that's just right now. Like as we continue to read, like we're gonna take land from all the other nations.
All right, would it be a problem if I know which people we're taking the land from?
If I may, sir.
It's like it, sir.
No.
Mhm.
That's right. That's right. Damn right.
So like y'all, I was just trying to get the details because that's how my brain works. That's how my background works, where I'm from and how I was raised. You guys know I'm from a whole different place. That's how we put things into that's how we contextualize things.
No, no, sir, brother. We understand that, but the longer you stay in here, we'll change.
bro.
You know what I'm saying? How your mind work and the way you put things together. Don't worry. The Lord gonna help you put it together.
I don't want to be confused,
the-
sir.
the-
I want to know what's going on.
Trust me, if I could, the way that you want to think about it is more confusing than the way it needs to be.
No, I'm
Just-
understanding it. No, I'm understanding it now that you guys explained it, sir.
Yeah. You know,
Because
like
now
said,
I know.
like,
Now I know
just
that
keep
this.
coming.
Now, also lucky.
No, you could
Oh.
just keep coming. You know what I'm saying? Come.
The water. So I'm doing what I'm supposed to do anyway. All right. The
No,
water.
hell yeah.
The water, sir. Go
You know
ahead.
what I mean? Yeah.
If I could, sir. You know,
Mm-hmm. They don't go nowhere.
So I can understand. Yeah. The water, sir.
if I may, sir.
Mhm.
You know, like pertaining to like chronology and stuff, we have a show called Cross the Line Radio. We have Captain Katazar. He is excellent, and you can call the show.
Oh, yeah.
And I'll give you the number at the end of the Sabbath service. You can, if the show runs from 10 to 12 every Thursday night, and you can call the show and ask any question. The person that, when you come to chronology and stuff, Captain Katazar is the man.
The water, sir. The water.
Most High in Christ.
Most High in Christ.
This is the book of Numbers, chapter 33 and verse 11 in the Hebrew. Wayasa Iwa, Mayum, Sawap, Wayakunwa, Bamadabar, Sayun. Verse 12. Wayasa Iwa, Mamadabar, Sayun, Wayakunwa, Bama Sakya, Ba Dapakwa. Verse 13. Wayasa Iwa, Madapakwa, Wayakunwa, Ma Alawash. Verse 14. Wayasa Iwa, Ma Alawash, Wayakunwa, Bara Payadum, Wala'a, Haya, Shum, Mayum, La'im, Lashathawath. Verse 15. Wayasa Iwa, Mara Payadum, Wayakunwa, Bamadabar, Sayunya, it's like Sayanai. Verse 16. Wayasa Iwa, Mama Debar, Sayanai, Wayakadwa, Sakya, Wayakunwa, Bamakwa Barak, Sakya, Ba Kwabarath, Hatha Awa, Hatha Awa, verse 17. Wayasa Iwa, Makwabarath, Hatha Awa, Wayakunwa, Bamakata Zarath. Verse 18. Wayasa Iwa, Makata Zarath, Wayakunwa, Barathama. I started that. So the book of Numbers, chapter 33 and verse 11 in the English. And they removed from the Red Sea and encamped in the wilderness of Sin. Verse 12. And they took their journey out of the wilderness of Sin and encamped in Dovka. And they departed from Dovka and encamped in Alush. Verse 14. And they removed from Alush and encamped in Rephidim, where there was no water for the people to drink. Verse 15. And they departed from Rephidim and pitched in the wilderness of Sinai. Verse 16. And they removed from the desert of Sinai and pitched at, good night, Kibroth Hatavah. Verse 17. And they departed from Kibroth Hatavah and encamped at Hazeroth. That's the end of verse 17 in the English.
Shalaki, now it's talking about Manasseh, the Cubans. Still, because we're still talking about the Cubans, all the way from the top, going from the top of 33, correct?
We're talking about all 12 tribes now.
All
No, you good.
Yeah, if you see, that's what I'm saying. What the brother was saying, where
Like
if you could worry so much about the chronology, you'll miss.
no. It's not about the chronology, not about the dates, sir. I'm talking about the tribes.
Yeah,
Right.
if you read verse 1, it says these are the journeys of the children of Israel.
Right, this
Right.
is all 12
So
tribes right now.
That's all of us.
Okay.
Right. It's just right now, if I may, sir, it's just telling you our journey, starting from when we left Egypt, when it says Ramses. So it's telling you when we left Ramses, who was the Pharaoh at the time, when we left Egypt, it's literally just telling you all the places, because we're imagine a camp of hundreds of thousands of people moving, you know what I'm saying? And we keep having to pitch in a certain place. We got to stop here and be here for a couple of days. We got to stop here and be here for a couple of days. We got to stop here and be here for a week. And so it's telling you all the lands we had to make a pit stop at and what was going on there.
Sound like my whole life.
Right.
The water.
Sound like the
You
life
gotta
of an
understand.
Israelite, right?
I internalize these scriptures differently than maybe than y'all do. But go ahead. The water, sir.
Yeah, come. Mm-hmm.
Damn right. Damn
Right.
right. That's right. The book of Numbers, chapter 33 and verse 18 in the Hebrew. Why count the water? Why is Iwa Makatazaroth? Why Kunwa Barathama? Verse 19. Why is Iwa Marathama? Why Kunwa Baramun Parataza? Verse 20. Slakia. Verse 20. Why is Iwa Maramun Parataza? Why Kunwa Balabana? Verse 21. Wayasa Iwa, Malabana, Wayakunwa, Barasa. Verse 22. Wayasa Iwa, Marasa, Wayakunwa, Bakwa Bakwa Halatha. Verse 23. Count one more after this. Verse 23. Wayasa Iwa, Makwa Halatha, Wayakunwa, Bahar Shapar. Verse 24. Wayasa Iwa, Mahar, Shapar, Wayakunwa, Baharada. Takia, Baharada. That's the end of verse 24 in the Hebrew. We'll pick it back up, verse 18 in the English. Book of Numbers, chapter 33 and verse 18. And they departed from Hazeroth and pitched in Rithma. Verse 19. And they departed from Rithma and pitched at Ramon Perez. Verse 20, and they departed from Ramon Perez and pitched in Libnah. Verse 21, and they removed from Libnah and pitched at Risa. Verse 22, and they journeyed from Risa and pitched in Kehelatha. Verse 23, and they went from Kehelatha and pitched in Mount Shafir. Verse 24, and they removed from Mount Shafir and encamped in Haradah.
So of course, you know what I'm saying, as we continue, you're gonna continue to go along this journey. You understand? We got the scribes, you know what I'm saying, keeping track of everything that's going on, writing these records down.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? You got brothers that's, put in charge of just, you know what I mean, writing down significant things that they're saying that the Lord wanted to be put down in these records for us to know the journey that we've been taking. Like the brother said, this is the life of the Israelite here, man. You know what I'm saying? All this traveling, moving from place to place. You know what I'm saying? This is where we live. So like, you had a question?
Yeah, Salaki. Numbers is whose account of this? Whose record it is?
This will be, all Moses records right here.
Okay. The water.
The first 5 books, right?
Like you said, he had people that wrote for him.
Yeah.
Like whatever he said and whatever happened, they wrote it down.
It
That's,
would be
that's how
the
we kept
scribes.
our records. They call it scribes.
And then the first 5, obviously, that's it's not. Excuse me, the Torah. So like, what they call the Torah. All right, go ahead. The water.
No, that's right. But you know what I'm saying, with that, for time's sake, we're gonna clip it up here. Next week we'll pick it back up at Numbers chapter 33 and verse 29, right? Verse 25. Okay, come. So we'll pick up next week in Numbers chapter 23. It's like at 33 and verse 25, right? So just up here, Michael, stand.
La Yasha Allah.
La Yasha Allah.
All right. Men of Israel, gird thyself to the pedestal of the Torah.
Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Roach Yah. Roach Yah. Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Roach Yah. Yeah.
All right, so Amidium, which means to stand. Wapaniyak Wadum, which means rise and face the east.
Start out with the Lord's Prayer in Hebrew.
Abanawa.
Abanawa,
Shabbat Shemayim.
Shabbat Shemayim,
Kodash.
Kodash,
Hayah.
Hayah,
Shemka.
Shemka,
Yahweh.
Yahweh,
Malakwaka.
Malakwaka,
Taba'ah.
Taba'ah,
Ratazayaka.
Ratazayaka,
Hayah.
Hayah,
Aisha.
Aisha,
Ba'arataza.
Barataza,
Kawa.
Kawa,
Hayah.
Hayah,
Bashamayim.
Bashamayim,
Natanlanawa.
Watananawa,
Lakam.
Lakam,
Cow.
Cow,
Yawum.
Yawam,
Wasalaknawa.
Wasalaknawa,
Kabawatnawa.
Kabawatnawa,
Kasalaknawa.
Kasalaknawa,
Kabawatyanawa.
Kabawatyanawa,
Wala'ah.
Wala'ah,
Tabia Ayanawa.
Tabi'ayinawa,
Banasaya 1.
Banasar 1,
Ball.
a ball,
Hawashayanawa.
Abishayinawa,
Mayan.
Mayan,
Rai.
Rai,
Kaya.
Kaya,
Laka.
Laka,
Hamalakwa.
Hamalakwa,
Waha'ala.
Waha'ala,
Wahafraparith.
Wahataparat,
Iwalamyam.
Iwalanium,
Aman.
Aman. In the English, Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it.
The prayer, the Salakia, the Hakak, prayer for the power in the Hebrew. Yahweh.
Yahweh,
Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai.
Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah,
Baba Kasha.
Baba Kashah,
Nathanawa.
Nathanawa,
Hakak.
Hakak,
Hakak.
Hakak,
La Para'ah.
La Pa'ah,
Kal Makala.
Kal Makala,
Kal Malawa.
Kal Madawa,
Hakak.
Hakak,
Latahar.
Latahar,
Matazarayim.
Hamatazarayim,
Hakak.
Hakak,
La Hakwiyam.
Lahakwiyam,
Hamathiam.
Hamathiam,
Hakak.
Hakak,
Ara Kawath.
Arakawaf,
Hatama Allah.
Hatama Allah,
Lagarishan.
Lagarishan,
Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai.
Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah,
Dawada Aman.
Dawada Aman. In the English, Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shah, please give us the power to heal all manner of sickness and all manner of disease, the power to cleanse the lepers, the power to raise the dead, the power against unclean spirits, to cast them out. In the name of Yahweh Shah, thank you, so be it.
This is prayer for the blessings in the Hebrew. Barakatha Yahweh.
Barakatah Yahweh,
Wa Yahweh Shai.
Wa Yahweh Shah,
Wa Mayaka
Wa
Allah.
Mayaka Allah,
Wa Alahayim.
Wa Alahayim,
Matazabaya.
Tazabiah,
Alawap Yahana.
Alawap Yahana,
Alawapium.
Alawapium,
Hasaranyam.
Hasaranyum,
Hakatazayanyam.
Hakatazayayim,
Hakoya Yoyum.
Hakoya Yoyum,
Wa Hagwatium.
Wahagwatian,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Bashim Yahweh Shai,
Ba'ashim Yahushua,
Tawada Aman.
Dawada Aman. In the English, bless you, Yahweh, and Yahushua, and Michael, and the angels, commanding General Yohana, the generals, the captains, the officers, the troopers, and the sisters. Yahweh, in the name Yahushua, thank you, so be it.
This is the 121st Psalm in the Hebrew. Aisha,
Aisha,
Ayanya,
Ayanya,
Al-Hahariam,
Al-Hahariam,
Ayan,
Ma'ayan,
Yaba'a,
Yaba'a,
Isaiah,
Izaria,
Isaiah,
Izaria,
Ma'aim,
Ma'aim,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Aisha,
Aisha,
Shemayam,
Shamayam,
Wa'aratazah,
Wa'arataza,
Al-Yathan,
Ayathan,
Lamawat,
Lamawat,
Rakolka,
Wagolka,
Al-Yanawam,
Ayanawam,
Shamarka,
Shamarka,
Hanala'a,
Hanala'a,
Yanawam,
Yanawam,
Wala'a,
Wala'a,
Yayashan,
Yayashan,
Shawamar,
Shawamar,
Yashra Allah,
Yasha Allah,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Shamarka,
Shamarka,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Tazolka,
Tazalka,
Al-Yad,
Al-Yad,
Yamyaka,
Yamyaka,
Yawamam,
Yawamam,
Hashamash,
Hashamash,
La'a,
La'a,
Yakaka,
Yakaka,
Wayarak,
Wayarak,
Balayallah,
Balayala,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Yashamarka,
Yashamarka,
Makau Rai,
Makau Rai,
Yashamar,
Yashamar,
Athnapashka,
Athnapashka,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Yashamar,
Yashamar,
Taza'atka,
Tazaaka,
Wabu'atka,
Wabu'aka,
Mayatha,
Mayatha,
Wa'aid, Iwalam,
Wa'aid Awalam. In English, I will lift up mine eyes into the hills, from which cometh my help. My help coming from the Lord, which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keep thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. The Lord is thy keeper. The Lord is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. The Lord shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. The Lord shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in from this time forth and even forevermore.
the 83rd Psalm in the Hebrew. Alahayim,
Alahayim,
Al-Damayalaka,
Al-Damayalaka,
Al-Thakarash,
Al-Takarash,
Wa Al-Fashakwat,
Wa-Al-Tashakwat,
Al
Al-Kayahana,
Kayahana, Awabiaka,
Iwabiaka,
Yahama,
Yahama,
Yawan,
Yawan,
Ra'ash,
Ra'ash,
Al-Imaka,
Al-Imaka,
Ya'ira Yamwa,
Yaira Yamwa,
Sawada,
Sawada,
Wayatha,
Wayatha,
Ya'itazawa,
Ya'itazawa,
Al-Tazapawanyaka,
Al-Tazapawanyaka,
Amarwa,
Amarwa,
Lakawa,
Lakawa,
Wanakakidam,
Wanakakidam,
Magoya,
Magoya,
Wala'a,
Wala'a,
Yazakar,
Yazakar,
Sham Yasha Allah,
Shamya Shala,
Iwada,
Iwada,
Kaya,
Kaya,
Nawa Aitazawa,
Nawa'itazawa,
Laba,
Laba,
Yakadwa,
Yakadwa,
Alyaka,
Alyaka,
Bariyath,
Barya,
Yakarathwa,
Yakaratwa,
Waholia,
Aholia,
Alawam,
Arawam,
Wayashamai,
Wayashamai,
Alayam,
Alayam,
Mawa'aba,
Mawa'aba,
Wahagarium,
Wahagarium,
Gabal,
Gabal,
Wa'ima1,
Waimawan,
Wa'ima-lak,
Waimalak,
Palashaf,
Palashah,
I'm Yashabia,
I'm Yeshabia,
Tazawar,
Tazawar,
Gam Ashawar,
Gam Ashur,
Nalawa,
Nalawa,
Imam,
Imam,
Hayawa,
Hayawa,
Zarawai,
Zarawai,
Labanya Lawat,
Labanya Lawat,
Salah,
Salah,
Aishalaham,
Ashalaham,
Kamadian,
Madian,
Kasaya,
Kasaya,
Sara'ah,
Sara'ah,
Kayabian,
Kayabian,
Banakol,
Manakol,
Kwayashwan,
Kwayashwan,
Nashamadwa,
Ashamadwa,
Ba'ayan,
Bayan,
Dara,
Daira,
Wakazaba,
Kazaba,
Wakazabak,
Kazabak,
Wakatazol,
Wakatazol,
Mana'ai,
Manai,
Kal Nasaya Kamwa,
Counter Sayakamwa,
Ashar,
Ashar,
Amarwa,
Amarwa,
Nayarasha,
Nayarisha,
Lanawa,
Lanawa,
Ath,
Ah,
Na'awath,
Na'awa,
Alahayim,
Alahayam,
Alahaya,
Alahaya,
Shayatamwa,
Sayatamwa,
Kagogala,
Kagogala,
Kakwash,
Kakwash,
Lapanya Raraka,
Lapanya Raraka,
Ka'ash,
Ka'ash,
Tabia Ira,
Tabi Ira,
Ya'ira,
Yaira,
Wakalaba,
Wakalaba,
Talahat,
Salahat,
Harayam,
Harayam,
Khan,
Khan,
Tharadapma,
Taradapma,
Basa Iraka,
Basa Iraka,
Wabasa,
Wabasa,
Wapathka,
Wapatka,
Tabahalam,
Tabahalam,
Mala'a,
Mala'a,
Panyahum,
Panyam,
Qualawan,
Palawan,
Wayabakwashwa,
Wayabakwashwa,
Shimka,
Shimka,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Yabashwa,
Yabashwa,
Wayabaholwa,
Wayabaholwa,
Aidya,
Idiai,
Wayakaparwa,
Wayakaparwa,
Wayabadwa,
Wayabadwa,
Wayadayawa,
Wayadayawa,
Kaya Atha,
Kaya Tha,
Shimka,
Shika,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Labadka,
Labadka,
Alya one,
Al Yawan,
Akal Haratazar,
Al Kaharatazar. In English, keep not thy silence, O Yahweh, hold not thy peace, and be not still, O Yahweh. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come, and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee, the tabernacles of Edom, and the Ishmaelites of Moab, and the Hagarenes, Gabal, and Ammon, and Amalek, the Philistines, with the inhabitants of Tyre. Assur also is joined with them. They have hope in the children of Lot. Salah, do unto them as unto the Midianites, as to Sisera, as to Jabin, at the brook of Kisan, which perished at Endor. They became as dung for the earth. Make their nobles like Oreb and like Zeeb, yea, all their princes, as Abba and as Almuna, who said, let us take to ourselves the house of Yahweh in possession. O my power, make them like a wheel, as a stumble before the wind, as a fire burneth the wood, and as a flame setteth the mountains on fire. So persecute them with thy tempest, and make them afraid with thy storm. Fill their faces with shame, that they may seek thy name. O Yahweh, let them be confounded and troubled forever. Yea, let them be put to shame and perish, that men may know that thou, whose name alone is Yahweh, art the most high of all the earth.
Men of Israel, we give one courtesy salute to the teacher. Men of Israel, Amadu Shabbat, Amadu Barak, Yahweh Shem Shabbat, Yajimatah. Class dismissed.
Leave it to Banyagu, man.